What it do? Dream Team, it's your boy D Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with 50 things that are only possible in Australia. Before we dive in, y'all know I need y'all to smash that subscribe button, ring notification bell, give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Oh my god!
Okay, it's pop quiz time. Which country has the longest fence in the world? How about the second largest Greek population? 3 times more sheep than people? Okay,
New Zealand,
one
right?
word.
New Zealand for the third one, I think.
Word will give it away. Kangaroos! Yeah, I'm talking about the land down on.
The video's about Australia, and I done guessed New Zealand. I feel like such a freaking idiot, bro.
Under. So, what do you know about Australia? So, let's start with the name. Australia comes from the Latin word Australis, which means southern. Way back in the 2nd century, there were legends of a mysterious Terra Australis incognita, or unknown southern land. Well, now it's very known, so let's get to know more about it. Despite the stereotypes of hot, sunny weather year-round, the Australian Alps, which are the highest mountain range in the country, get more snow than the Swiss Alps do. Better grab your skis. The world's longest national highway is in Australia. It stretches for over 9,000 miles. For comparison, the Earth's diameter is about 7,900 miles. It's actually a network of highways that connects all capitals of the mainland states.
My God, they do be talking about how they states are like literally like you could drive a day and still not have reached another state. You know what I'm saying? And so, but God, 9,000 miles, bro. That's so freaking far. My God.
Now, I'm sure you've heard of the Great Wall of China, but what about the Great Fence of Australia? Okay, that's not what it's called, but still, the Dingo Fence in southeast Australia stretches for nearly 3,500 miles.
Oh my
For
God.
comparison, it would easily cover the entire span of the U.S., from Los Angeles to Houghton, Maine. Now, it might not be so surprising to know that Australia is huge. It's about the same size as the continental U.S., about 2,500 miles wide. The distance from the west to east coast is further than Barcelona to Moscow. In all, Australia is the world's 6th largest country and the only one that's also a whole continent. But with all that territory, over 80% of Australians.
It's like, how do you become a continent and a country, bro? Like, how did that happen? I'm intrigued to know how that happened.
Live within 60 miles of the coast. This makes the country one of the most coastal dwelling populations in the world. And that means a whole lot of beaches. In fact, they have so many that if you decided to visit a new beach every day, it would take you almost 30 years to see them all.
That's insane.
The biggest property in Australia is about 40,000 square miles in area. South Korea could fit into it with room to spare. The country's termites are busy building huge properties as well. Their mounds are the tallest animal-made structures on this planet.
That was made by termites? Stop it. Yo, what the? What the? No, that was made by termites. I've never actually seen a termite.
Before humans arrived, the continent was home to Megafauna. If you lived there about 46,000 years ago, you'd be dead today. But you would have seen 10-foot-tall kangaroos, 23-foot-long goanna lizards, and ducks the size of an adult horse. Quack, quack.
Ducks this? Nah, stop it. That can't be real. That can't, cause I'm a duck the size of a horse, bro. No way.
The largest living structure on the planet is the Australian Great Barrier Reef. By the way, it has its own mailbox, and there's a rumor that the fish there use eel mail. Yeah. Neither kangaroos nor emus can walk backward, that's a fact, and that's why they're painted on the Australian coat of arms. Keep moving forward. The platypus, an egg-laying mammal that lives only in Australia, is one of the rare venomous mammals on this planet. Luckily, while the venom has an excruciatingly painful effect on people, it's not lethal. The takeaway? Don't fuss with a platypus. By the way, when the first platypus was brought to England, people there were sure that it was a joke. The English believed that Australians had sewn a duck's bill onto a rat's body to play a trick on them. Yeah, right up until he bit them. Not laughing now, are you? Swimming in the surf during the day had been illegal in Australia up until 1902. But after one guy calmly entered the waves of Manly Beach one afternoon that year, surf bathing became increasingly popular. The largest Greek population outside of Greece itself is in Australia. Actually, to be more precise, in Melbourne. More than 160,000 people who live there say they come from Greek descent. Melbourne was the richest city in the world in 1880. These days, Tokyo, Japan holds this title. And until 2018,
it'd be cool to visit Tokyo, Japan. It'd be cool to visit so many places in the world.
Melbourne had been rated as the most livable city in the world for 7 years in a row.
Dang.
But then, it was bumped down to second place after Vienna, Austria. Come on, Melbourne, get back in the game. One of Melbourne's founders was John Batman. Yep, that was his real name. And get this, the city was temporarily called Batmania. Too bad they decided to change it to Robinville? Nah.
Should have changed it to Gotham.
In 2018, Australia ranked third after Norway and Switzerland on the Human Development Index. This index is based on education, life expectancy, and citizens' income. Basically, they got a good thing going down under there. In 2005, security guards at the Parliament House in Canberra were prohibited from calling people mate. But the ban only lasted for a day, mate. G'day! If you're ever in Western Australia, you can visit one of their many super salty pink lakes. They get the bubblegum hue from a certain type of algae and bacteria, and they're totally safe to swim in. Just be careful what you chew. Oh, and be sure to take a selfie while you're swimming in what looks like a giant pool of Pepto-Bismol. You can thank Australia for coming up with the word selfie in the first place.
What?
There are about 74 million
Australia came up with that word? I did not know that. I did not. And that's a pink lake, bro. I don't know. I feel like would I swim in? Because I don't even swim in lakes that are regular lake color. But I don't know. I might take a chance.
Sheep to 25 million people in Australia, which makes an impressive ratio of 3 to 1. Only China and India have more than that. Oh, and the kangaroo thing is totally true. There are twice as many kangaroos as there are people there. That's 50 to 25 million. Speaking of which, when a baby kangaroo is born, it's only half an inch long. It's also hairless and totally pink.
Really?
Kinda looks like a gummy bear. What else is there in Australia? Oh, that's right, koalas. And to top that, there are 10 times more camels than koalas. Australia is the source of a lot of the Middle East's camels. Now, in Western Australia, it's against the law to be in possession of more than 110 pounds of potatoes. Well, every country has its obscure, bizarre laws. The architect...
But I wonder but I feel like you should have a reason for every law. So I wonder what was the reason back when this law was formed? I mean, who has more potatoes than that in the first place? But what's the reason for not being able to have more than that?
The world-famous Sydney Opera House got the idea of this unique construction while munching on an orange. If you combine all the sails of the building's roof, you'll get a perfect sphere. The most ancient fossils in the world were found in Australia. They were no less than 3.4 billion years old, even older than my leftovers in the fridge. There are so many different species in this country that only 25% of them have been discovered so far. Of the animals discovered to be native to Australia, none have hooves. Burger King miraculously turns into Hungry Jack's as soon as you land in Australia. It's the Aussie franchise of the famous fast food chain. Australia is a unique continent that doesn't house any active volcanoes. It's also the flattest continent on our planet. But it's got plenty of mountains, and one of them is called Mount Disappointment. It's just 2,600 feet tall, and naturally, explorers William Hovell and Hamilton Hume expected to see a great view from the top. However, after climbing the mountain, they discovered that there were too many trees growing on top and blocking the view completely. Guess how the men felt? Australia has tons of unique flora and fauna species that you won't find anywhere else in the world. Among those are a staggering 1,500 spider species. Yeah. On the bright side,
1,500? And I don't F with spiders at all, bro.
And we are. While some of them are fatally poisonous, most are completely harmless. But how do I tell them apart? Oh, the poisonous ones wear signs. Got it. It's also where you'll find 21 of the world's top 25 most venomous snakes.
That's insane.
More than 90% of Australia is covered with some kind of vegetation. Since 1988, Australia has had a national floral emblem, and it's the golden wattle. When this plant blooms, it gets covered with the country's national colors, green and gold. Australia is a multinational country, with more than 200 different languages and dialects spoken there. The most popular non-English languages are Mandarin, Greek, Arabic, Vietnamese, and Cantonese.
Really?
There are 19 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Australia, including 12 natural sites, 3 cultural sites, and 4 mixed sites. The difference between Australia's total length and its width is only 200 miles. Hey, do you have an 8-hour working day? You can thank Australian stonemasons for that. In 1865, they demanded to make 8-hour shifts the standard, and it spread throughout the world from there. With 8 people per...
People was working longer than 8-hour shifts back then, and Australia said cut it 8 hours. What was that? See, no, I couldn't. I can't do the 12-hour, 3 days a week shifts. I can't. I don't even like 8-hour shifts, to be honest. I think I grew up and I was like, bro, I just don't like to work, like, or you just have to find something passionate you love doing, like making these videos. I can do this all day, every day. This is cool. Learning new things, being entertained by some videos that I make, cool. But the jobs I had in the past, not cool.
Square mile, Australia has an extremely low population density. For comparison, there are about 93 people per square mile in the U.S. The national Australian airline, Qantas, uses recycled cooking oil to power its interstate flights.
What?
So, have I missed any cool facts about Australia?
Serious?
Let me know down in the comments. If you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share it with a friend. But hey, don't go waltzing Matilda just yet. We have over 2,000 cool videos for you to check out. All you have to do is pick the left or right video, click on it.
They use repowered cooking oil. That's cool. That's all we got. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon and drop it in the comment section. It's your boy D Neal. Out.